All right, so for today, we're doing, it's the workbook page 71, graphing inequalities into variables, which is this worksheet here. So hopefully you can print it out. If not, then you'll have to draw all of your graphs to help you with answering these questions. If you look at the bottom of the page, I know it looks like it says it's page 38. Ignore that, cross it off if you printed it out, but it's actually page 71. It's just when we go to print them out from the teacher workbooks, they're a little bit different. I don't know why. But it is page 71. Like if you were to pick up the workbook, I know you had the opportunity at the beginning of the year to get them. Some of you did, some of you didn't, but it's page 71 for today. Okay. And you're going to be doing all of these questions except for the last three down here. You're not going to do these last three questions. You can cross them off or skip them, but you are not going to be doing those last three questions. You are going to be doing all of the other ones, and I will help you guys out because it's for your assignment today, just to get you started on it, because tomorrow we have a quiz on this topic. So your first section here for numbers 1 through 4, it says match each inequality to the graph of its solution. This is for numbers 1 through 4. I'm going to help you guys out with these here. So when you're graphing, you want all of your equations first to be written in slope-intercept format. So y equals mx plus b. Okay, when we're looking at number 1, it is not in slope-intercept form. It doesn't look like that, y equals mx plus b. So we first have to fix it. That means I need to move this negative 2x to the other side. So how could I move that negative 2x to the other side? What's the opposite of negative 2x? Well, you just add. You would do plus 2x on both sides, plus 2x. So those cancel out. I'm going to write my answer over here. And then I've got my y, and then I have my inequality symbol, the one that looks like the letter L, so it's less than. And then I've got the 2 plus 2x. They cannot be combined, so I need to put them side by side. First is the 2x, then the positive 2. Now it's in slope-intercept form, so you could graph it, or these ones are actually already done for you. You would look at your answer choices A, B, C, D, and see which one it is. Well, we can immediately cross off 2 of them because we're looking at our symbol here. It's just the less than symbol. Okay, so less than symbol or the greater than symbol, they don't have that extra line underneath, so we're using less ink for the sign. So that means you're going to have less ink for the line. So the only possible choices number 1 could be are either B or C. It's going to be one of these ones here because A and D, they both have that solid line, but we're looking for, it's the less than symbol. That means it's going to be a dashed line. It's either going to be B or C. So if you're like, I don't know how to do anything else, but you can tell what kind of line it is, you got a 50% chance of getting the answer right now if you're taking a test and you were like on a question like this. Okay, but let's go through and list out our information. You can write out your M equals and your B equals. I'll put it here. M equals 2, B equals 2. And then you can graph it. We know it's either going to be B or C because they have the dashed lines. So the first thing you do is you would plot B on the y-intercept. That's the line that goes up and down. We're going to look and see where we have a dot or the line crosses on the y-intercept of positive 2. So you start from the middle. Here's positive 2. This one crosses at positive 2. And C, here's positive 2. It does not cross at that positive 2, so it's definitely not C. So that means our answer choice for number 1 is B. Okay, so if you're writing this down on your own piece of paper, this is what I would need to see on your paper. All of this stuff here, the question, you changing it into slope-intercept form, the y is less than 2x plus 2 in all of your work. You can write up your M equals B equals, and then your final answer choice, B. Okay, but if you have the actual worksheet printed out, you can just do kind of what I'm doing here. Okay, so we already got B crossed off. Let's go on to another one. Let's look at number 2, because this is kind of another weird one here. Number 2 says y is less than or equal to negative 3x. Okay, so this one's already in slope-intercept form, and I know it looks a little funny compared to what we're used to seeing. But so let's go ahead and write out. Let's write m equals b equals for number 2. Okay. So m is everything in front of x. For this one, it's a -3. And b is everything after x. We don't see anything after x. Like, we literally don't see anything. So that means there's nothing there. If you think in your head, what number is nothing? Like, if you have nothing in your bank account, what number would you see in your bank account? You would see 0. Okay, so b for number 2 is 0. Okay. So then from there, you can look at your answer choices. If you want, you could do kind of what we did for number 1, cross off the ones we know it's definitely not going to be. For number 2, we have the less than or equal to symbol, less than or equal to symbol. So we've got extra ink for the sign. You would have extra ink for the line. We can automatically cross off C. So that means it's either going to be A or D because they have the solid line. So let's check and see. Let's see which one crosses the y-axis at 0. Let's see letter A. So since B is 0, you wouldn't move anywhere. That means your line would cross right here for the letter A. And it's not crossing there for A, so it's probably not A. Let's double check D. And you can see here, the line's crossing at 0, 0. So there you go. You don't even need to go any further than that as a test taking strategy. You can automatically assume the rest of it is correct, or you can double check. Slope is -3 over 1. Go down. Whoops. Here's your y-intercept. Go down 1, 2, 3 to the right 1. And it is good. Less than or equal to means you shade below. So perfect. Number 2 is D. Okay. That is pretty much what you're doing for numbers 1 through 4. All you have to do are numbers 3 and 4. That's your last 2 options there. Make sure you show your work kind of like I did for number 1 and number 2. But you are going to be doing all of that top section there. Okay, going on to our bottom section here for numbers 5 through 10. Directions, graph each inequality. I'm going to do 2 of these with you guys. First one we'll do is number 5 because that's a weird one. Alrighty, number 5. It's either going to be a vertical line up and down or a horizontal line side to side, left to right. Okay, because we only have one variable, y, and it says less than -1. So since we only have the one variable, you're either going to put a dot on the y-axis or on the x-axis. For this one, we have the variable y, so that means we're going to be working with the y-axis. And we're going to put a dot or a point on -1 on the y-axis. So here's my -1 on the y-axis. And since it's only one variable, like I said, it's either a vertical or horizontal line. If your dot is on the y-axis, that means you're going to be drawing a horizontal line, side to side, left to right. So this is what it'll look like. But we need to see, is it going to be a solid or a dashed line? Well, here's our symbol, the less than symbol. We're using less ink for the sign, so that means less ink for the line. We're going to be doing a dashed line, leaving some spaces in between. And then we've got less than, we can do our shading below. Here is your shading below. And again, kind of like what we did yesterday, make sure you identify your solution. Put a nice big S over your solution. All of this down here in the shaded area is your solution. Okay, so that means any of those points there, you could pick one, plug it in, and it's going to work. Okay, so that's number 5. All the other ones down here are not like that, so it's a little bit weird. Let's do another one. I was going to do, for number 7, let's just fix this one really quickly here. Number 7, just put +0. So that means m equals 3 and b equals 0. Okay, I'm not going to do number 7. I was going to, but I changed my mind just now. But that should help you guys out with finishing number 7. Let's do number 6, though. Let's do number 6. Okay. Number 6, we've got y is greater than or equal to x minus 5. It's already in that slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So we can write out m equals b equals, where m is everything in front of x. For this one, it's an invisible 1. So here's my 1, and b is everything after x, my -5. Okay. From here, we can graph it. First, plotting the y-intercept. B is -5. That goes on the y-axis up and down. So I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's my y-intercept of -5. And then we're going to use our slope. It's positive. And we're going to turn into a fraction by putting it over an invisible 1. So positive, that means we go up and to the right. So from that y-intercept, up 1, right 1. Keep on going, up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, until you run out of space. And then once you run out of space, go back and do the opposite. The opposite of up and to the right is down and to the left. Down 1, left 1. And then from there, before you draw your line, double check your sign. We've got the greater than or equal to. This is our symbol here, okay? We have extra ink for the sign, so we need to have extra ink for the line. Solid line going through all those dots. And the greater than symbol means you shade everything above. You can put your pencil anywhere on that line, draw an arrow going straight up, and that's everything above the line. Shade all of that in here. That is your solution for number 6. Put a nice big S over your solution so we know what is an answer and what is not a solution. Okay? So numbers 9 and 10, you'll have to fix these and put them in slope-intercept form. Do -x, -x. And then for number 10, +x, +x. That's your little hint there, your first step for numbers 9 and 10. So hopefully that's enough to help you guys and finish up these 10 questions here. I did a couple of them with you guys. Remember, you are not doing the last 3. You're pretty much just doing numbers 1 through 10. And Anessa, currently you're still the only one in here. Are you good to go? Do you need any other help? You can turn your microphone on or you can type in the chat. I just want to make sure everything's good.
I finished the whole page already.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. So then you're good to go. Did everything that I just went over, did you get them all correct as well?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So go ahead, take a picture of it, submit it on Schoology. And that is it. So for my recording purposes, if anyone does have a question, you can send me a message. We can work on it together. But you're just doing numbers 1 through 10. But that is it. Alrighty, you can log off and have a good day.